I just dropped my kids off at the school this morning, and I wasn't able to finish the video that I was working on last night because I was tired. And people are always asking me, how am I doing? And I still don't really know how to answer that question because it's like I'm on this pendulum, and the pendulum swings from one extreme set of emotions to another extreme. And it could be in a matter of moments, a matter of hours. Yeah, because I cry in public places because I have unpredictable triggers. I call them, with the kids, I call them daddy triggers or Kenneth triggers. And I also, there's an emotional tiredness, almost like a spiritual tiredness. My husband and I had worked, hard and, really gave, I think, ourselves over to everything that God had given us. So we worked hard to get into college, to go to college, to graduate, to go to graduate school, to be a good spouse, to learn what that meant, to be good parents, to learn what that meant, to try to have a healthy family, to go through the home buying process, to buy a house, and to try to build in our career and aspirations. And my husband worked hard at work, and all the things that he did to invest in other people. We had, we just have given a lot in terms of relationships and all these different chapters of our lives. And the pendulum can swing so far into the negative at times. Like, I'm trying to be a positive person. I'm committed to never giving up, period. But yeah, I have my days, I have my moments of just like, I'm sick of it. Enough is enough. I'm going to sell these kids on eBay to the highest bidder. Everything, everyone must go. No refunds, no returns. This single mother life is not for me. God, you've got the wrong girl. I'm Lucy and Rod's daughter. I don't know who you think I am. I have my moments of like that. And, I was telling my friend one day, and I was just in a negative, I was just exhausted. And I told her, look, all this dreams, goals, destiny, it's overrated. I've had enough. I've lived my life. 35. I've lived my life, and I did all that. It's overrated. I'm tired now. God, whatever God is gonna do with me, He's just gonna have to do it because I'm tired. She told me, Lysandra, I'm not even going. I'm just gonna say, okay. Tomorrow the pendulum will swing in the other direction, and then you will have a whole revelation sermon, all kinds of fight, fury, positivity, and excitement about your future. So I'm just going to say, okay, I think is learning. I am not going to get too emotionally wrapped up in your negative moments because I know that they come and they go. And they do. They come and they go. And the lies, of course, from the enemy that come, that say everything good that was going to happen in your life has already happened. So you might as well stop fighting so hard because that was it. That was the finale, and that's the end. And I know that's a lie, but I have to fight that. And then I think there are other things about grief that just challenge your faith, and especially because we don't understand. His heart still gave out. His heart still, he still passed away as a result of it. It's just a sense of like, God, there are other people in the world who had worse eating habits and were more overweight and were drinking and smoking every day, and they don't have cardiomyopathy. And when I'm trying to understand it, I'm trying to make sense of what I can't make sense of. And I just, no matter how I try to cut it, it feels like this is not fair. And how can God be good if somebody is serving him and loving him and, this stuff happens? And, I think the enemy uses all of that to try to turn your heart against God, and he tries to turn my heart against God and to become suspicious of God and nervous about what God is going to let happen next, and or what God is going to do or not do. And how can we really, you know, receive the promises of God and trust the character of God when things have gone this way? The Lord blessed me. I was listening, I was struggling with that. And I listened to a sermon where the preacher told the story of a couple that lost their son in an automobile accident when he was young. And they were pastors of a church, and they got through all of that. And later somebody asked them, how did you make it through? How did you maintain your faith? And they said, we thought God would protect our son. We were praying for our son, covering our son in prayer, and we obviously believed that God would protect him. And that's not what happened. It looks like, he passed away, and we don't understand why why this happened. We can't make sense of this. And the bottom line is we don't know. We don't get it, and we don't know, and we don't understand. But we have walked with the Lord for years, and we have seen God be good, and we have seen God be faithful, and we know God to be loving, and we know God to be faithful. And we have so many chapters and stories and examples of God's faithfulness in our life and in the life of our son. And they were saying we are making a decision. We made a choice to say we are not going to trade what we know for what we don't know, and we're not going to trade in all that we've seen God be, all that we know God to be, years of faithfulness, all the love of God that He's shown. We're not going to trade all that in because of this thing that's gone on that we don't understand. And that blessed me, helped me. And it helped me get over, one of the humps or one of the hurdles of all of this. And I just started telling the Lord, I said, I'm not going to trade in what I know about you because of what I don't know. And I'm not going to trade in what you've done because of this thing that doesn't look right. It doesn't look fair. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't, that I can't make sense of. And I just started to tell him, I saw you be good to Kenneth Hutchinson. I saw you be good to him. I saw you love him. I saw you take him from a poor community and bless him to go to a school that even some adults laughed at and thought and said, you can't get in there, and if you do, you can't afford that. And I saw you bless him to go there, graduate from there, go back there for graduate school, graduate again, and work there, and send other students from his community there later. I saw you do all that. And I saw you bless him to get married to the person he wanted to be married to. I saw you bless him with the children he wanted, the son he wanted and prayed for. I saw you bless his career. I saw you bless him to get 100% of the first graduating class of urban prep into college, and then to do that for many consecutive years after. I saw you give him divine and supernatural strategy on how to get that done. I saw you give him divine and supernatural understanding about college access, causing him to be a national voice around college access. I saw you keep him even after he got the cardiomyopathy diagnosis. I saw you be good to my husband, and all other manner of many other testimonies and blessings and goodness that I saw you demonstrate in the life of my husband. And I'm not going to trade all that in because I don't understand this. I'm going to believe that somehow, even in his transitioning into heaven, you were there and you were good and you were loving him, and that you were with him, that you were comforting him, that you just took him in a way that was peaceful and good because you had been good to us all that time. And I'm going to continue to believe that.
You see what I mean? Because you look and see all these things. How do you reconcile that he is a good father who's consistent and worthy of you, and all the things we go to church and do when you don't see these things happening, at least from your perspective, it doesn't seem to be happening for me. Or you hear big testimonies, or they walk in with the very thing that you've been wanting your whole life. And here comes somebody saying, I just got blessed. God blessed me with a new car. I've been praying for a car for 6 years. I'm still on the bus.
And then, but to your point, like you were saying, like, am I doing something wrong? Like, am I not praying hard enough? Am I not reading long enough? What I know, that's my question. Like, I can just be, and he's going to do. Well, how come he hasn't done? That's my question. Like, I mean, it's.
You just go to run.
I was in the car and I heard a song by the Williams brothers come on where they sing, I've seen too many victories to let defeat have the last word. And that thing blessed me. I felt like, God, I feel the same way. Like, I've just seen too many victories. I've seen you do the crazy over and over and over. I've seen you come through for me. Back was against the wall. All I had to do was call. Like, I've seen you do too much and move too many mountains to let defeat have the last word. 15 weeks post loss right now, God is working on a spiritual infrastructure, kind of building up a spiritual, like a new spiritual infrastructure within me that will allow me to be very solid around the passing of my husband and the reason for my faith at this point in my life. And he's giving me he's still writing my story. Like, God is still doing new things, and I kind of wish that they would happen faster. Can you do a whole lot of new things really quick, God? Like right now? But they're still happening, and I'm still seeing God's goodness. I want to invite you to share some type of testimony if you've seen God's faithfulness, and God's done anything for you good. If you don't mind writing it in the comments of this video, I am here for any testimony at this point, because it reminds me that the Lord is really real, and I think it could be a blessing to other people that are going to read it too.